Hi. So we start officially in 5 minutes. And I wanted to stop in and invite you, if you didn't know about this live meditation that we'll be doing for about half an hour, starting in about 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. I'd love to welcome you and include you. In the meditation, we're going to be working with the first waning phase of the moon. Last week was full moon. I'm sure you saw wherever you are in North America that huge full moon, strong, powerful full moon last week. This week we're moving into the waning phase of the moon, which means that the moon is going to get smaller. And as it gets smaller, there'll be more dark sky, obviously. So we're coming into this phase of letting go and also releasing all the things we did and didn't do. Maybe we had big intentions for the month of September. There's a lot of energy in September. Back to school, start that project. It's getting cooler. It's time to pull in the harvest. What ideas did we bring toward this month of September that maybe we didn't quite get to? Maybe September had other plans for you. So as we come into this meditation, which begins in 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to be leading you through a closed eye guided meditation, meaning that I'm going to be speaking, walking you through the steps, and leading you through an imaginal landscape where we enter the sanctuary tent and sit together around a campfire, and your body relaxes and your nervous system begins to let go, and we come into a kind of sense of presence together, even though you're watching me on a screen somewhere, and even though I can't see you. In the imaginal realm where this work takes place, we can become aware of the presence of another, or of a group even. And so our sanctuary here, our soul caller sanctuary, is a place where we connect throughout the week via messages and posts, but I also want to offer you the invitation to connect with one another around this campfire, and also to the opportunity to connect with yourself, to come inside and sit by the fire, if you will, of your own heart. To become aware of the world that exists beyond the world that you can see with your eyes, but which, even though you can't see it, you can sense it, and you do sense it, and you do interact with the imaginal, invisible realm, the numinous, you might say, all the time. We interact with the numinous through memory, through our ideas about what other people are feeling and thinking. But we also interact with the numinous through the sense that we're receiving guidance, the signs that we receive when we walk outside and find a feather or a shell at the beach, and it's meaningful to us. When we have a dream, as if we've been visited by an old friend or a lost loved one, we're interacting with that imaginal, numinous, not visible with the eyes, but visible with the heart, visible with the soul, that space. And so as we begin our meditation right on time, I welcome you, and I invite you to close your eyes. Just close your eyes and come inside. Come inside of your own body. And as you breathe, breathe toward your own heart. So as you inhale, draw the breath in toward the center of your heart. Imagine that the breath is filling the heart. And as you exhale, imagine that the heart is exhaling. And inhale, that's my alarm. Inhale and exhale. Imagining that you're breathing toward the heart, filling the heart with breath. And as you exhale, releasing the breath from the center of your heart. And in this way, the breath begins to fill the heart, and the breath becomes a vehicle or a pathway on which we can begin to release with the breath anything that we'd like to release. And before we do that, or you may start on your own, inhaling love toward the heart, exhaling anything not love from the heart. You can do that on your own, but right now, let's just breathe together and feel your body settle. And let your body settle and feel the support of the chair or the ground beneath you. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the floor supporting your feet and supporting your chair, which is supporting your body as you breathe toward the center of your heart and exhale from that center. And let's do a little soft, just gentle movement, just to release. And I lead this movement section based on what my body needs. So make sure as we do this that you take care of your body. And if there's something your body needs that I don't mention, go ahead and take care of that. So right now what we're going to do, we've been breathing. Eyes are still closed, by the way. We've been breathing toward the center of the heart. Now let's bring that breath toward any part of the body. Sort of scan your body with your awareness and find any place in the body that feels tight or stuck or even painful. And imagine now, just the way you brought the breath toward the heart, bringing the breath now toward that part of the body that needs a little support, needs a little TLC, a little breath. Bring the breath toward that stuck or stiff place. And imagine that that stuck place can exhale the stuckness on the breath. Inhale toward that stiff shoulder or ache in the spine or sore knee, whatever you're feeling in your body. I have a stiff finger on my right hand. My ring finger is a little stiff. I'm breathing toward that finger. And exhale from that finger, letting that finger or that shoulder or knee or wherever that stiff place was, letting that release on the breath. Inhaling and exhaling on your own. We're going to come now into the landscape of the soul color world. So I want you to imagine that you're arriving in the middle of a green field on a beautiful sunny autumn day. You can feel the gentle breeze moving the grasses of the field. Look at the wildflowers. Notice the colors the green. Maybe there's some red or blue or pink, yellow in the wildflower garden of this field. And begin to notice just ahead there's a hill with a slight rise, not too steep, and at the top of the hill is a tent, a white tent, and it's glowing from within, glowing like a lantern, lit from within by our sanctuary fire. And we're going to walk toward that tent, and when you get to the entrance, a guardian greets you there. I don't know who the guardian is that greets you. Each of us is greeted by our own version of the guardian who's there to welcome you to the tent today. Imagine that the guardian greets you and takes your shoes, take off your shoes and give them to the guardian for safekeeping. And as you do, allow any concerns or worries you may have carried toward the sanctuary to slip from your shoulders like a silk robe and just swoosh off your shoulders like a silk robe and land on the floor. And the guardian takes that robe from you, just sweeps it up from the ground and puts it in a basket with your name on it, along with your shoes for safekeeping. The guardian can hold all of this, all your concerns and your shoes that you walk in as you walk through the world. You don't need those. We're going to step into the sanctuary in our bare feet. It's warm inside. Come to the entrance, and just before you step in, just pause, take a deep breath in, an acknowledgement as you exhale and step inside that you are stepping on sacred ground. Your step and your acknowledgement of this sacralizes that ground. It's your awareness of sacred ground, your attention to that with your step that makes it sacred. It's sacred because we say so. Sacred ground. Look around. In front of you there's a fire, and just to the side of the entrance there's a well. And there are all kinds of cups there. Go find your cup and dip it into the well. Dip your cup into the well and drink as much of this quenching, clear liquid, like liquid light. Drink as much as you need to quench all the thirst. Physical thirst, bodily thirst. Are you actually thirsty? Is your body thirsty for water? Is your mind thirsty? Are you feeling curious today, interested, engaged? Are you weary? Do you need some energy? Quench every thirst, your thirst for connection and for meaning. The soul is thirsty for meaning. Allow this cool, clear liquid. If you're joining us just now, just close your eyes and come into the sanctuary tent with us in your bare feet. Come to the well, dip your cup. We're just getting started. There is no late. There is only welcome in the tent. Join us. And once you've quenched every thirst, put your cup at the side. Put your cup at the side of the well and find your place in the circle around the warm, bright fire. You may choose to sit anywhere in the circle. Notice, though, where you choose to sit. Find your most comfortable spot. I'm going to sit on a red velvet cushion today. No, I'm going to change my cushion to bright teal. That's the color of cushion. A teal green velvet cushion. What color is your seat today? What chair do you land in? Are you called toward? As you find your place in the circle, look around. Notice all the others gathered around the fire with you. As everyone takes their seat, notice that you can see behind each member of the circle their guardians, the angels and spirit guides and ancestors. They may seem very vivid and clear to you. It may look to you like there's another whole other circle of beings standing behind our circle of human beings. Or it may seem to you that there are light forms, just shadowy presences. You may see animals, you may hear music, you may see color, or you may sense things in your body. Whatever you see, whatever you feel is perfectly all right. There's no right way to receive spiritual guidance. Just notice who's here with us. And as you notice the guides who came with the others in the circle, imagine them noticing your guides behind you and beside you. Who's here with you today? See if you can sense behind you and around you the presence of a particular soul friend or ancestor or teacher or angel. Perhaps you've walked with this one before, or maybe this one is presenting itself for the first time. So today, we're just going to spend another 5 or 6 minutes just sensing into what's here for us now, here in this first waning phase of the moon. During full moon last week, we noticed what was filling us, what was moving outward and expanding outward from us. Now we're looking at what's moving away. In full moon, we talk about radiance. We talk about being filled with a certain kind of light that wants to speak through us, move through us, emerge through us. But there's also, with that sort of radiance, a kind of exhaustion that can come in, a kind of sense of a demand to keep performing. In this phase of the moon, we want to let that go. We want to let go of any demand to perform or get it right or be perfect or get anywhere at all. What demand that you be better, be different, be stronger, be more visible, be more successful, be more courageous? What demand is here that you'd like to soften and maybe let go of, ease out of? You don't have to be brave all the time. What softer invitation is offering itself as the moonlight dims, as the brightness and radiance dims? Sometimes in the shadowier places, we can begin to see invitation from quieter guides, invitation to quieter pastimes, to less striving, to a different kind of courage, the courage to not keep up, to not compete, the courage to, I don't want to use the word self-care because it always conjures the image of a bubble bath, but the invitation to care about your own well-being as much as you care for others. So in this phase of the moon, we want to feel into and listen to what the guides have to tell you about accomplishment. You might say, what did I accomplish and I am rightfully proud of? And what pressure to accomplish am I ready to let go of? And I'm going to let you sit with that question. What sense of accomplishment is here? What harvest am I ready to pull in? And I am proud of that, and I am glad I did it. But also, what didn't I do? Right? So we're letting go of what we did, right? And letting the ego, letting the mind let go of that as important. Releasing the idea that what we accomplished is who we are. Releasing our identification with that accomplishment and saying, I did this and it's good. I can bless that and now I let it go. So I'm going to let you sit with the question, what pressure to accomplish am I ready to release? What ease am I ready to allow in? What demand to be better, bigger, brighter is moving away? What invitation to soften and open to the quieter support of another sort of guidance is here? So we'll just sit in silence for 1 full minute with that question and listen to the guide that stepped forward for you today. Just listen, don't worry about getting this right. Just listen to what's here. About 20 seconds more of silence. Just listening to what's here. Even if what's here is the sound of the wind. What does the wind have to tell you about letting go? Even if what's here is the shimmer of sunlight across the desk. What does that shimmer have to tell you about letting go? About shining? And about the impermanence of shining. The moon itself tells us about that. Radiance lasts only, full moon radiance lasts only a few days. The whole month long, the moon is either moving away from full radiance and coming into full darkness, or the moon is reawakening toward fullness. But it's always changing. So life isn't about, for the moon and for us, life isn't about shining all the time. And when we, in our hurry up and go culture, are trying to shine all the time, we don't ever get a chance to integrate to rest and restore ourselves. And that's what this time is about, moving toward celebration of the harvest, but also starting to turn within. Turn within. So these are the questions for this week. As I said before, what sense of having to accomplish is letting go, and what invitation toward self-care, self-support is a better word, is moving in. What am I ready to release, even releasing that which I've accomplished? And as we end this meditation, we end it with these phrases, these statements. You can repeat them inside as I say them, and I'll post them underneath this, the recording of this video as well. Just take this in, and as we do it, breathe toward your heart, as if you're gathering these statements that I make toward your heart, if you want to. If you approve of the statement that I'm offering to you. They're like affirmations that you can breathe in toward the center of your heart and exhale from that statement. So you could say, I'm inhaling support and I'm exhaling ease. I'm giving away what I no longer need to carry. And these are the statements. Inhale toward your heart. I have done enough. I have done enough. And that might be, I have done enough this month. I have done enough this week. I have done enough already in this day. Right? I have done enough. Inhale that toward your heart. And exhale from that, I have done enough. I let go of having to do more, of the demand that I make on myself to do more. I have given enough. Inhale toward your heart. I have given enough now. I've given enough. And as you exhale, I have given enough. Release everyone that you give to. Your children, your loved one, your elderly friend, the baby, the neighbors, the community that you give to. Release all of those others that you give so much to their own agency, their own heart. I have given them enough. And as you have the next phrase, I trust, I trust. And exhale from the center of your heart, I trust everyone I give to. I trust everyone I do for to be able to take care of themselves. Everyone has their own guidance, their own energy, their own angels. You don't have to carry everything for everyone. I have enough is the next phrase. I want you to inhale, I have enough. And if that feels untrue, imagine that you're inhaling that as possible. It's possible that I could have enough. And exhale, I am willing to have enough. Enough to quench my thirst. Enough to have my needs met. Enough to pay my bills. Enough to feel witnessed and held and seen. I have enough. I'm willing to have enough. And exhale. And our last one, I am enough. No matter what I accomplish. No matter what I give. I am already enough. I am enough, just as I am. I am not my accomplishments. I am not my gifts that I give. I release the demand that I be better, do more, be different than I am. I move toward the invitation that's moving toward me, the invitation to lean into the ease and support that's offering itself now. And as we close this meditation with I am enough, breathe that in one more time. I am enough. I'm willing to experience that I am enough if you can't quite feel it yet. I'm willing to experience that I am enough. Listen for whatever rises in your thoughts, in your heart, as you move into the breath with me. Breathe toward the center of your heart. We're coming now back into the body. Imagine that we're exiting the tent, saying goodbye to our soul friends, coming back out of the tent, meeting the guardian at the door. There are your shoes. Consider leaving that cloak of worries with the guardian. Imagine you could trust that the guardian, one of those the support team that has your best interests at heart, knows what to do with all of that. Leave the concerns in the hands of the guardian, of the angels, of the ancestors who are always here with you, your support team. Or take them with you. You don't have to leave your worries and concerns today, but you can. Come back down the hill. Follow the breath back to the center of your own heart. Exhale from that center. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back to normal consciousness. What is normal anyway? Who knows? Do we want to be normal? I don't think so. And take a minute, if you haven't done already, to write down any thoughts or guidance that came up, any images especially that came up, even if you don't know what they mean. Take a moment to record that in your journal or on a piece of paper. You could dictate it into your phone. I often do that. And I welcome your comments. If you're watching this live, or if you're watching by recording, you are still with us in the circle, in present time. That sort of thing is possible in the wide mind of the imaginal, of the divine, who meets us there in that imaginal space, between that in-between space where this sort of thing is possible. I'll say that while I was preparing for the call, the guidance that was coming to me over and over, there's a black walnut tree right outside my window, and every year at this time it begins to bomb the house with these huge green black walnut hulls. The fruit is bright green. I should actually get one. I'll show it to you next time. And inside is one black walnut. There's so much protection around that single black walnut. Nature takes such good care of that walnut. And I want you to imagine as you go into the week that you have that sort of protection around you as well. You have your beautiful heart. And around that heart, this wonderful body And around that body, you have an energy field. Think of that as the the external fruit around your own body, and then that green shell around the black walnut fruit. Um, that's kind of the shell of your golden egg of self. You have that much protection and support built around you as well. So I was reminded of that. And during the call, I was very surprised that no black walnuts were thrown at the top of my office. But I expect now that we're done with the meditation part, you'll hear some banging outside. Don't be surprised by that. I'm going to end the official recorded part of this call so it doesn't go too long, but I'll still be here if you'd like to. There they go. Did you hear them? Boom, 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 boom on the cellar door. Um, anyway, so thank you for listening. Thank you for doing this meditation with me. It was delightful to come here again. I love doing this, and I'm so delighted that I've found a way to do it so that it can be accessible to you beyond the Zoom room where it wasn't working for me that well, to be able to offer to so many of you at once. Okay, I'm going to end the live video here, and I'm going to stick around if you want to talk with me.